Welcome to the VAR Review, where we look over the latest set of fixtures across Scottish football, look at some of the big decisions that were made, hear the VAR audio and understand a bit about the process that leads to those decisions. I'm delighted, as always, to be joined by the Scottish FA's Head of Referees, Willie Collum, for another busy show. So let's kick straight off, Willie, with a really interesting one at Dens Park, because Rangers score, but it's one end up to the other. Let's take a look through it and see what Willie thinks.
Think Adams! Back, leg, where you want?
Outside
no, it's the same
penalty
again.
area. Okay.
Simon Murray's running him, Greg.
I've got live.
Checking potential penalty. Checking potential penalty.
He's good.
Delay if you can.
APP.
Okay. Do you need to see something high behind or something? I can't really tell anything from that.
Goal.
Okay. Show me this here first.
He runs into him. Minimal contact.
Okay, minimal contact. There's no pull or push, there's slight contact. Okay, content. Okay, right, run through and show me the APP for the goal then. Callum, the no ongoing checks with the penalty claim. Penalty's cleared. Let me check the APP for the goal now, please.
So set the APP from here.
Yep, on you go.
I've checked it, we're checking the goal.
Okay, just
come near me, Simon, we started it again.
Make sure that's not offside, please. Yep. Okay, fine. Go, move on, please. Okay, no offside there.
No offside there.
And just go. Okay, yeah, all checks complete. Good to award the goal.
So, Willie, we heard APP, attacking phase of play. So if there was a foul on Simon Murray, that goal would have been ruled out. It would have been brought back. But was there? Was there a foul in the box?
So you're right to talk about the APP, because here the VAR immediately goes into a check. There's a possible penalty claim. The AVAR, the assistant VAR, follows the live play. So he's able to commentate and talk about what's happening, so that if they rule there's no penalty decision, they're able to check everything else in the build-up to the goal as well. So immediately the VAR checks. Firstly, there's good communication from the on-field referee. He describes the situation very well. There is contact, but it's not enough. He believes that part of that contact is caused by the Dundee attacker running into the Rangers player. When you look back at the incident, the Rangers player and the Dundee player have their eyes firmly fixed on the ball. They're both looking at the ball. There is contact. There's contact at foot level by the Rangers player, but this is normal contact. This is a normal footballing contact. It's two players making contact, going for the ball. Some people might argue and say, well, nothing needs to be intentional for it to be a foul, but we need to understand as well, football is a contact sport. So the VAR is right to check it, go through it thoroughly, make sure that what the referee's communicating is what the pictures are telling us as well. And there's a key in the clip, because the Dundee player immediately holds his foot. So we want the VARs to be really careful, really focused. Yep, they're checking upper body contact, there's nothing, but that's also a clear sign to make sure what has been the contact at foot level, and there's not enough here for a foul. And they're right, the on-field team and the VAR team, to award the goal.
Willie, that strikes me though as the type of incident that sparks this phrase. If that happens in the centre circle, a free kick would be given. You confident that's not the case? You think there's no need for that to be?
Yeah, I think, Gordon, here we need to acknowledge about football being a contact sport, and this is, normal football and contact between two players. They've both got their eyes firmly fixed on the ball, they're both looking at the ball, and there's inevitable contact. But if the referee had deemed this to be a punishable action for a step on foot and awarded a penalty, we would coach in the back here that we don't expect that, but we also wouldn't have expected VAR intervention, because it does happen, but it's not punishable for us. So we're happy that the goal stands.
OK, this next one's all about sanction, because I don't think anyone's complaining about the award of a penalty for a foul by Alistair Johnson up at Ross County, but it's about what happens next. So let's take a look.
APP.
It's tight for offside, check that. Looked alright, but...
Okay.
Penalty given on the field of play.
Penalty kick. Craig Aitken, on-field decision as penalty kick. He just bundles him over. Go away, please. Go away.
Okay, checking on-field decision of penalty kick. Okay, so I need you to find me an angle that proves that guy runs into him.
There's not much that catches it because it's in the...
What about the reverse?
The reverse guide gets it at the end there. Just
it's being checked.
Just continue to delay, Matthew. Just checking the penalty.
Is this all you've got?
60
Nothing
metre
else?
right, and your goal line will be your best camera. Nothing else seems to catch it.
Nothing else catches it. Show me goal line again.
The super slow-mo here is just...
Okay, show me that.
The goal line's your best, and so's your 18-yard.
Okay, there does look to be a bit of a barge. If this is the best I've got to work with, this is looking back a bit of the barge. There's a movement of the right arm. Show me high behind and try and slow it really, really.
Okay.
Yep.
Just continue to delay, Matthew. We're just checking it.
Pardon? It's not in any ball control or anything like that.
Okay, from the angles that are available to me, I have to confirm that the penalty's okay.
Check the APP because there's a
Okay,
potential
so we'll
offside.
check the APP.
Matthew, confirming the penalty. We're just checking the APP.
Penalties
Just happy from here.
Definitely a penalty.
On you go.
Check
Yep,
there's no
point.
offsides or anything, okay? Penalties confirmed or check there's no offsides or anything.
So I need to check that.
Yep, just getting the kick point for you, so I'll go
Okay.
here.
I don't know.
Matthew, all checks are complete. On-field decision confirmed.
As we said, Willie, it's a penalty. No one's going to grumble. Why is it not a red card?
So you're right, it's a penalty kick, and there was a lot of discussion about red card, Gordon. There was about this being a goal-scoring opportunity. The key thing for us here is about the word obvious, an obvious goal-scoring opportunity. There's no doubt it is an opportunity. But when the Celtic player starts to foul the Ross County player, so there's no question about it being a foul, the ball is in mid-air. It's only just coming into the penalty area at that point when the initial contact starts to happen. And for us, there is not enough to say that at that stage this is obvious. This is not where a player has got the ball right in front of them about to tap it into the goal. A lot of people might disagree with that, but we're also aligning ourselves there with UEFA's thinking. And the understanding at UEFA, the understanding the guidelines given by FIFA about denying an obvious goal-scoring opportunity, they do not want a red card for this kind of scenario. So what's important for me here in this show is to say that people might disagree with us here, but for consistency, we will not be issuing a red card here for us. This is always going to be a yellow card. The referee does make a mistake here because he awards a penalty correctly, but issues no card. For us, this is a blatant action and it is stopping a promising attack, so it should have been a yellow card.
How confident are you that consistency can be found, though? Because I appreciate what you're saying about the ball being in the air. I do also feel like most people think he is probably in quite a good position to score.
Yeah, and it's a good point, but also if you listen to the audio there, at no point does the on-field referee or any of the other match officials mention anything about denying an obvious goal-scoring opportunity. It's also not a consideration given by the VAR or AVAR, and that should tell people as well watching this that that's the coaching we've delivered, that we don't expect that to even be a consideration here. So it should be a yellow card given on-field, but not a red card.
Let's take a look at another one, Willie, because it's a similar discussion to be had for Aberdeen against St Mirren. What are your thoughts there in terms of should this have been a red card?
So similar to the previous decision, this is a correct call. It's a deliberate handball here for us. I think people could go down a line of starting to think about last man here. We know that doesn't exist in the laws of the game. The ball's in mid-air, it's travelling, the Aberdeen attacker's going slightly to the left, and he's absolutely not in control of the ball. Again, I think this is a goal-scoring opportunity, but the key word being obvious. You must meet that obvious criteria to guarantee that you're saying that this should be a red card. And for us, there's not enough certainty here that that would be an obvious goal-scoring opportunity for the elements I've just described. So this should be a yellow card for stopping a promising attack. The referee awarded a free kick only, but we've coached the referee here and the previous club as well coached the referee that both these incidents should have resulted in a yellow card.
OK, let's take a look at everyone's favourite topic, handball, because sometimes it's not only important about how the ball is handled, but who handles it, Willie, and I think that's a key here between Celtic and Kilmarnock. So let's run this one through.
APP. Okay. Goal. Goal. On-field is goal, they're querying handball. I see that.
But it's natural position.
Okay, we're checking the goal.
It hits blue 6 on the arm on the way through, but for me it's in a natural position, Stevie.
Tell me what you
Not
say.
the goal scorer, for me on-field decision goal. Alright, you've heard what I've said.
I hear exactly what you're saying, Nick. Let us check it. His hands tucked in close to his body. Go to the wide view for me.
So if it's the goal scorer, then it's automatically a factual.
So it hits his right arm. Yeah, but his arm is tucked into his body in a natural position. Hits his elbow, and he's actually trying to avoid contact.
Yes.
So his body's not in an unnatural position. His body's quite clear. Okay, this player is the goal scorer is in an onside position.
Yes.
Okay, it goes through to him, please. Can I just see him? And then he knocks it in. Knocks it into the goal. And the ball crosses the line fairly.
Yes.
Good. There's nothing else.
Goal.
So we'll go award the goal.
Sometimes a bit of misconception about incidents like that, so just clear up what it is we're looking for, and is that outcome one you're comfortable with?
Yeah, we're very comfortable here. I would hope, Gordon, we're showing this clip and the majority of people are agreeing. This is really straightforward in terms of law. I want to, again, though, commend the on-field referee because his communication is excellent. We've worked really hard this season to make sure that what the on-field referee is saying is clearly communicated to the VAR team. And the outcome here is that it hits the Kilmarnock player's arm, there's no doubt about that, but his arm is in a completely natural position. They even say he's trying to avoid the contact. If the ball then drops at his feet and he scores, then we disallow the goal as per the laws. But the ball goes to another player who puts it in, absolutely correct in law. It's straightforward for us. I repeat again, I hope that the majority of people watching this clip will be clear that this was a clear goal.
OK, maybe one that's a bit more debatable then for some people, looking at the reaction. Nicky Cadden's handball for Hibs against Ross County. What do we think about this one?
Still there, safe. Still down, stop when you can't be.
I just want to see the guy back post, Chris Cadden, it touches, take live. I want to see what it touches Cadden. I want to see if it hits that hand.
You need a physio on, Josh?
Yeah. Can you show me anything else?
Right, tell him.
Good. Yeah. Well done as well. Digger, just delayed, checking a potential penalty kick for handball.
Yeah, we kicked the
So from here, there's clear deviation of the ball.
That's
and
right
show me
there,
behind the
just
goals.
wait, hold.
Then I want to consider the position of the hand.
I'll check it, a potential handball after the
hand is
ball in.
yep. And there's deviation in it now.
Check
And the
it,
hand's
potential handball.
well out from
Hands out of the body, yeah.
Okay.
And there's deviation in there. There's
Check it,
deviation there, yeah.
There's clear deviation of the ball, we can see it move and the hand is out from the body.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to recommend field, recommend an on-field view. I'm going to check APP soon.
Because there's a free kick in the build-up as well.
If they went Hibs way though, we'll get them over. Dagger, it's Matthew. I'm going to recommend an on-field review for a potential handball. Make your way over and we'll check the APP as you come over.
You happy that this is...
It's not a foul.
You happy with the APP?
Go back. We'll just quickly run through the APP, just 1 second.
No point in this. I don't make a decision, mate. So
Yeah,
I
fine.
know, but I'm just saying there's no
Happy?
point in it makes a
Yes,
difference.
Okay, Digger, the first bit I'm going to show you, we're concentrating on Nick Cadden at the back post. I'm showing you this angle first to show that it does strike his arm, so you can see a deviation of the ball. Okay?
Okay.
And then I'm going to show you the high behind to show you the extension of the position of the arm from the body. And then pause it on point of contact on hand, please.
So the arm's outstretched, penalty kick. I don't think
I'll pause it on point of contact, and I agree there's no sanction.
The on-field decision is penalty kick.
In fairness, Willie, that communication is very clear. I think that's probably the way you want all that to work. Fans are more interested in, is it the right decision, is it a penalty? Communication's good. The angles also are good, that they don't start with a still image, what we're telling them again, because you can make anything look like a handball there if you pause it. But they show side angle to show the distance a ball travels. It does come from distance. They show the high behind the goal, which is really, really important. And then we finish with a still image to get the exact point of contact and the position of the arm. There's been lots of debate about this decision. Nobody claims for it on field, nobody at all. Everybody's oblivious, even the match officials on field, including the referee and the assistant referee looking at across. And there's also been the point made that, well, the ball's not going to an opponent. However, I was really clear when I spoke pre-season, particularly when I spoke to the clubs, that you can't have a rule about where the ball is going. You know, just because it's an unnatural position, but it's not going to anybody, we ignore it. This for us is a clear penalty kick. The arm's extended. We don't have any justification for not awarding this here. And in fact, if this had not been awarded by the referee or the VAR, we would have been coaching that was an incorrect decision, and the team of officials would be marked down. This is clear for us. The arm out for the body. And the ball travels a distance. It does travel a distance. I have a bit of sympathy because the ball does bounce just before it gets to the player, but the arm is still too far out from the body, and for us this is clearly punishable. There's no question about it. Again, for consistency, the arm in this position, we will continue to award a penalty kick for this. Let's take a look at another quick one involving Hibs. Rocky Bashiri recently there in the game against Aberdeen kind of leads with the arm. Let's take a look at that one and see what you think. You happy with this, Willie, or not? I want to be very clear in explaining this. This is a clear challenge for the ball here, and we believe it's an error that the VAR team brought the referee to the monitor. We're really pleased with the referee coming to the monitor and saying this was natural because the player is challenging an opponent for the ball. We do not want any on-field intervention here. We don't want any VAR intervention here for the on-field officials. We believe the referee called it correctly on-field, and this should not be a penalty kick under any circumstances.
It would be very different if a player was jumping to head of the ball on his own, not challenging an opponent, and he makes that same connection with his arm to the ball. But here, this is completely natural in terms of the challenge for the ball. So correct for us, the referee goes to the monitor and doesn't award a penalty kick. But again, for coaching purposes, we've told the VARs we don't expect any intervention here.
So, speaking of referees going to the monitor and sticking with their original decision, let's have a look at Mohamed Diamandi's red card at Tannadice, because the referee sticks with his decision. There's then a successful appeal afterwards, which makes this one even more complex. So let's run it through and see what Willie makes of this one.
Let's just see that
Number
contact.
5.
Yeah, okay. So I've seen this contact here. Just run it on. I just want to see this after with Diamandi. Oh, okay.
Guys, I'm showing a red card to Diamandi for violent conduct towards the face of Holt, and then I'm taking number 5 for a caution. Move. Number
Okay,
5, yellow
checking the red card now.
United.
Okay.
Diamandi striking
so-
towards the face.
Got it here. Yep.
I'll talk to the captain.
So he pushed.
I'll talk to the captain.
Yeah, okay.
James.
So nice and tight for me here. So as Holt pushes, there's contact with the face.
I'll give you main.
Get a better angle. Just on here.
Give you main, then I'll give you 16.
In the direction of
Okay.
Kevin Holt, he tries to strike him. Just
Look at it
because he
here.
misses, mate,
Right.
doesn't
So
mean
for
it's
me, he's
not
pushed,
red.
but
For the
there,
face, in my opinion,
I
it's
don't
violent, okay?
see
Don,
anything
if the yellow card
violent
for number
or
5 lacks
brutality.
or excessive force.
I don't think it's a red card. Are you with me on that? Or
Aye, doesn't tick any boxes.
Nick, it's done. I'm going to recommend an on-field review, okay, for the red card for Diamandi, okay? So even though the arm comes out, I don't see. Yeah, but
Can you give me
as
a
he's
different
pushed,
angle, please?
yep, I've got a different angle.
How behind here?
So just on here, but the contact for me is negligible. And as he's pushed,
So-
yeah, the arm comes, but I don't see excessive force or brutality.
So the swing with the right hand for you is not violent conduct.
Yep, for
Zoom
me
in
it's
on
not.
the swinging action for me. Zoom in on the
just zoom
swinging
in.
action by white 10.
That's the best angle we've got, the two angles I've shown you.
I see a slap towards the face, so I'm going to put him off. Go on the field.
Willie, this one's interesting because there was a successful appeal. So an appeals panel doesn't think it was a red card. You can hear clearly the VAR doesn't think it was a red card, but the on-field referee does, sticks with his decision. What's your take on it?
So we've had lots of discussion about this incident. We've coached the match officials that we don't think it's a red card. We agree with the viewpoint that the VAR talks about when assessing the incident about excessive force, brutality. Is the contact, is there contact in the face? Is it negligible? These are key phrases I've mentioned before in this show that need to be taken into account. For example, when we talked about the Motherwell Kilmarnock decision for violent conduct over the festive period as well. So for us here, we prefer a yellow card. The referee goes to the monitor. He's entitled to stick with his decision, and for him there is a slap. For us, we would prefer, though, a yellow card for this action. What I want to be clear about is there's a clear action. There's also a clear action by the Dundee United player as well, and potentially the best outcome here is a yellow card for either player for the aggressive action of both players that happens after an initial free kick is awarded. But for us, this incident doesn't have excessive force, it doesn't have brutality, and the contact, is negligible, if any. What I would say, if you go back many years ago, people talked about in the laws of the game, because it was written in the laws of the game, strikes or attempts to strike an opponent, and potentially under the laws of the game with that kind of terminology you would see a different outcome. But now the threshold is about excessive force, brutality and negligible contact as well.
How do you get to a point though where those decisions are made correctly, so to speak? Because we've heard the audio, to be fair, it's just two people who see things differently. The referee thinks he sees a swing where the force is not negligible. The VAR disagrees with that. You disagree. To what extent can you make the referee see it the way that you do, or the way that the VAR does?
by analysing incidents, by the constant coaching. We're coaching every single week. We're talking about how to be consistent. I really like in this clip as well about the VAR showing different angles. Again, they also are very clear. They don't show the first image slow motion because, again, if you go back to the learning curve from Motherwell Kilmarnock, we said don't show things in slow motion, show it in full speed. So that we're learning. And if we make mistakes, we don't want to make mistakes. We don't want to call things wrong. But when we call them wrong, we need to learn from them. And it's now about taking that forward in terms of consistency. This is what we expect to happen in these kind of decisions. This is what we expect the outcome. You're right to mention an appeal. I want to be clear that referee operations and my team, we have nothing to do with the appeals process. That's between the clubs, it's between disciplinary, and that's right as well, that our thoughts are not sought about that. That sits separately from us, and we keep away from that so that the right outcome is reached in terms of what they think, and we don't influence that in any way, shape or form. But for us here, this should have been a yellow card.
I mean, in fairness, it does happen. It has happened here, it's happened elsewhere, but I think the wider view, people, how can the VAR get it wrong and then an appeal is successful, but you're still comfortable with that process that remains as the last sort of safety net to try and clear up a perceived injustice, albeit after the game, and it then doesn't help the team out that's been wronged in the moment?
It needs to remain, Gordon, for incidents like this. We saw one earlier in the season as well, where there was potential there for the same thing. What I would say is that if you don't have an appeal system, then you're saying VAR's perfect. And we see scenarios where there's no perfection with VAR, and that mistakes will happen, but our job is to reduce the amount of mistakes happening so that we don't have to go to an appeals process. And being realistic, there is a lot less appeals than there was before VAR came into existence in Scottish football.
OK, let's stick with Rangers, but bring it back to Ibrox. The visit of Aberdeen, a challenge by Leighton Clarkson, and a bit of a debate about whether this one should have been a red card.
Okay, tackle.
APP.
Show
me that tackle, please. Checking the tackle delay.
That's fine. Go on treatment, Kev. Do you want treatment?
Okay, Dave, have a look and tell me what you see.
That may well be the case. Still be reckless. Yeah.
He's late, he's high.
Number 10. Hold on, pal.
The point of contact's up about ankle, but it's side of the boot rather than studs on studs, and the intensity is low.
I've also got
Show me this one. Looking for any buckle the angle on this one. I'm going to agree. Kevin, check complete, confirming reckless action. It's a glancing side of boot contact rather than front on with studs. Okay, check complete.
Why is that one not a red, Willie? Because we're almost falling into the habit now of seeing high contact and thinking that means red, but not here.
Not here because they take into account lots of different aspects about, is it, the intensity? Are the studs planted completely on the leg, and when you see a particular angle, it's to the side? This is the importance of using different angles. I was in the VAR control room the evening of this match, Gordon, and I have to say, at the first angle, I thought it was a clear red card. I thought it was clear. And then when they started to use the different angles that you see in the footage there, it became really clear to me that it was a yellow card. Because one angle shows you would think the studs are completely on the leg, but when you look at another angle, it's clear it's to the side, and there's a lot less impact, a lot less force. If the referee had given a red card here, I think there are definitely elements to support that. I don't think there would have been VAR intervention. But when you take into account the whole package, you can clearly support a yellow card. That's why it's important, and we're stressing to the VARs and the AVARs, they need to use all available angles to try and get the picture of a tackle. I'm still convinced if you use one of the angles there, you could simply come to the conclusion it's a red card.
The first one.
The first one, yep. And also, if you pause it as well, you could make it look like a clear red card. That's why it's important to take into account absolutely everything. And also the position of the boot on the leg. If that's studs completely on that leg there, it's a different scenario. But here we support the yellow card, albeit it's a very high-end yellow card. And I repeat again, if the referee had given a red card on field, there are elements to support a red card here. But for us, yellow.
Well, sometimes it is about opinion and subjectivity, sometimes though more about process. Let's have a look at Tynecastle. It was the visit of Kilmarnock, a brilliant game actually, but this was one that got a lot of people debating afterwards.
Long. Baby. No chance! John, you took a gamble, you got it wrong. Big decision coming. All hearts, that's foul.
Okay.
Absolutely not a foul, Andy. Joe Wright just gets caught. Guys behind him. It's not a push.
Okay, confirming
just
on-field
holds his
decision
ground.
of goal. We'll just check it.
From here?
Yeah, it's fine. No. Let me see that back one more time. Give me the ball through. Wee bit further back.
Absolutely
Okay,
zero
play
on
from
the
there.
pitch now
And
as
it's
well.
there, Roomy.
No.
Nah, definitely not. Not for me. Good, Roomy. That one's fine.
No, he didn't. He absolutely did not.
He's onside. He's onside.
As far as I'm
The guy behind
concerned,
the
aye.
goalkeeper. Yeah, we're good, eh? Happy? Yep. All clear. Confirming on-field decision of goal, John.
Okay, buddy, thank you.
Seems straightforward enough. No foul. But is there another element that should have been considered here?
Yeah, when you look back at the footage here, Gordon, the VAR team go back to start to assess the incident almost just a short time before the potential foul, when the ball's in mid-air. But we don't start an attacking phase of play when the ball's in mid-air. The attacking phase of play in this incident should have started when the Hearts goalkeeper released the ball. The foul or no foul, to an extent, is irrelevant for me. I think you could argue one way or the other. Me personally, I don't think it is a foul, but some people look at it and think it is. But the reality is that this player, the attacking player, is offside from the goalkeeper's kick, and he then interferes and impacts with his opponent and also the potential of his opponent to play the ball. So this here should have been given as offside. We've learned a lot from this clip. Again, people will be critical of me because they're saying, well, you get it wrong, but you talk about learning, but that's the only way to improve. Firstly, we don't want any APP to be set in mid-air. We need to go back, even go back a step further than you think the APP is, just to be sure where it started. We also expect the on-field assistant referee to make some communication here because it's obviously a very tight decision. And normally the assistant referee would say it's tight in the build-up or have a look. And in this case, that didn't happen. The AVAR's an experienced assistant referee. We're hoping there again there can be prompt. But as a team, as the assistant referee, the VAR and the AVAR, we need to get this right. We need to make sure we identify the offside because this doesn't come down to a subjective call or no. The free kick does, about a foul or no. But this is clear in the APP. This goal should have been disallowed. What I would say, if you remove the players from the position they're in to the opposite side of the field and the ball still comes to the same area, we're not interested. They're no impacting at all. That's nothing for us to be concerned about. It would be the focus on where the drop zone is or close to that drop zone. But for here, this should be offside. There's no doubt about it.
OK, next one, a penalty box incident then. I think it's Dre Wright and Elvis Bomono, the Battle of the Saints in Paisley. There's a tumble in the box. So what do we think about this one?
Yeah, we'll do the APP. We'll keep that in.
Inside.
No,
go
kick.
Do you want to delay or take it?
Just delay. Yeah. Just delay. We'll have a look at it.
Clear. Normal footballing contact.
Checking the on-field decision of goal kick.
Yeah,
Okay,
on-field
let's play
decision
through
goal
from
kick, mate. Minimal contact for me, if any. Looks for
As
it.
the ball comes to what I'm seeing,
he
steps
Clear
across him.
away.
He puts his foot across him there. There's enough contact there, do you think, for a penalty kick?
Do you want me to go back to
Just,
Hibernian
he's not played the ball.
speed?
There's no touch of the ball.
For me, Dan's describing minimal contact.
Yeah.
And for me, that's what we're seeing.
I'd agree with that, yeah. I'd agree. Aye, check complete. Yeah, confirm on-field decision of goal kick. Check complete.
Okay.
Well, it's another incident that quite a lot of people have had a lot to say about it in the days that have followed. What's your take on it? When we heard that the communication is clear again, but have they reached the right outcome?
No, for us this is a penalty kick, Gordon, and should have resulted in VAR intervention. Firstly, we want the decision correct on field. The referee and the assistant referee have a part to play here. The communication, both of them were pleased they do communicate, which is important, but the referee says minimal contact. And the VAR, in our opinion, starts to look for that minimal contact. I think the VAR has some doubts because they start to talk about no playing of the ball. You know, is it potentially a normal footballing contact? I've used that phrase earlier in the Dundee Rangers clip, but we need to be careful that we don't rely on phrases and think that covers everything. This is not a normal footballing contact. This is a defender who goes to play the ball, doesn't play the ball and trips up the attacker. And for me, we need to keep it simple. I think it's easier to explain here why this should be a penalty, the numerous different reasons that are difficult to understand about why it shouldn't be a penalty. Keep things simple here. This is a penalty kick. If not given on field, but again, we're pressing the match referee, we need to get these decisions right, but if not given on field, definitely VAR intervention for us.
OK, challenges on the goalkeeper, always a great area for debate. Let's look at Jack Walton, the Dundee United keeper at Rugby Park, because yet again, a lot of debate about this one.
APP if it's not running.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ball's in the net. Goal given on field. Goal given.
Just run through the whole APP, please. Checking on-field decision of goal.
There's also a potential offside in the build-up.
Yeah.
Normal contact with my angle, right? I didn't see it in the legal.
Right, okay.
Right, so on-field decision at the moment is goal.
Right, that's fine.
Check it. I didn't think it was enough for a foul.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine.
Sorry?
Okay.
Of course.
Right, so only thing we're checking is the challenge on the goalkeeper. My initial thoughts are it looks okay, but I need to see something on the challenge on the goalkeeper. Okay, so his arms are up in the natural position for jumping. He makes no pushing movement. He's just a challenge for the ball, and he clearly heads the ball. I need to make sure that doesn't come off his arm. It looks like a shoulder.
Okay, so I'll go to the low behind.
Yeah, it's a shoulder. Okay, so it's just whether we think this is a foul. Alan, I'm content.
I'm 100% fine with it. I think it's a clean header onto the ball. The keeper's just went up for the and never made anything, and the guy's just made clean contact. For me, it's a clean goal.
Confirming on-field decision of goal, check complete.
A really interesting one, this, Willie. What do you think?
So we support the decision. The goal is given on field, and also the VAR and the AVAR go into a check. They're also very comfortable at the outcome here, and that the on-field decision is correct and the goal should stand, that there's not enough here for a foul on the goalkeeper.
What do you mean by not enough though? Because I'm a bit torn here. Sometimes we should treat every incident in isolation because nothing's ever exactly the same, but people will watch this straight away and think Jack Butland at Fir Park, which we spoke about, and there wasn't a lot of contact that day either, and that goal didn't stand. So how is this different?
So lots of people have asked me that in the last week or so about the two decisions and comparing them. And you never get two decisions the exact same in football. Firstly, the Motherwell Rangers one comes for a dead ball situation. And as I explained in the last show, the Motherwell player who has arm contact with the Rangers goalkeeper never ever touches a ball. Here there's a ball played into the penalty area. It's up in the air. Everybody has a right to challenge for that. And the Kilmarnock player, in challenging for that, makes inevitable contact with the Dundee United goalkeeper. And for us, it's not enough to be a legal contact here, and the goal should stand. If the referee deemed on field that the arm contact with the goalkeeper was punishable, again, it's subjective. It's very difficult for the VAR to get involved there. But what we cannot say in judging this incident here is that this is an error. We believe that the goal was right to stand.
OK, well, that brings to an end the latest VAR review. Thank you very much to Willie, as always, for his openness, his transparency. Always good to hear the VAR audio as well and understand how these decisions are made, even if we don't always agree. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on the VAR review.